This is the Week in Sustainability from Sustain.Life. It's where our team of sustainability experts and practitioners share commentary to keep you up to date on developing stories and news.
Welcome back, everybody, to the Week in Sustainability. I'm Arcadia Lee. I'm a senior sustainability consultant at Sustain.Life, and I'm joined here today with my colleague, Hassam El-Khadi, who's joining me for his very first episode. Hassam, do you want to quickly introduce yourself to the audience?
Absolutely. Thanks, Arcadia. Hi, my name is Hassam. I'm a senior sustainability consultant here at Sustain.Life. I help clients on their sustainability journey. So kind of going all the way from quantifying your emissions through a cheat sheet inventory to setting a science-based target and kind of wrapping it up with your reporting needs. So reporting to CDP, TCFD, and kind of all the different reporting requirements that your company needs help with.
Great. Thanks so much, Hassam. So for today, I thought it'd be really cool for us to talk about clean energy. We have two interesting stories for you this week. First, we'll explore a new and exciting development on green hydrogen in Europe, and then we'll look at the rise of solar power in the US. So let's first start with green hydrogen. Energy giant TotalEnergies and industrial gas company Air Products recently announced a groundbreaking 15-year agreement with green hydrogen supply. And this collaboration really aims to try to reduce the amount of greenhouse gas emissions from Total's European refineries.
But before we dive deeper, what exactly is green hydrogen and why is it such a big deal?
Yeah, that's a really great question. So, green hydrogen is a clean energy source. It's made by splitting water with electricity that's made from renewable energy sources like wind and solar. That process is called electrolysis, and it creates hydrogen gas without releasing greenhouse gases into the atmosphere like other traditional methods that rely on fossil fuels. And so that's why it's called green. It's really a more sustainable way of trying to produce hydrogen fuel.
And, now we know green hydrogen uses renewable energy, but are there any other types of hydrogen that companies can actually utilize?
Yeah, there's a whole spectrum of different types of hydrogen. There's blue, black, gray, and a ton of other different colors. That color really just indicates what type of energy is being used to produce that hydrogen gas. So, for example, black hydrogen is created from coal power, gray hydrogen is created from natural gas. And so you can see that they're really not all created equally, and they're certainly not all green or clean.
And kept going back to the Total and Air Product collaboration here, for anyone that doesn't know Total, are they a significant player in this space?
Yeah, absolutely, they are. They actually have 6 different refineries in Europe. 3 are in France, 1 is in Belgium, they have another one in Germany, and 1 more in Netherlands. Plus, they have 2 biorefineries in France. So all of those facilities that I just mentioned use hydrogen gas, and their goal is try to replace that hydrogen with 500,000 tons of green hydrogen each year by 2030. And that switch to green hydrogen is they're expecting that to reduce about 5 million metric tons of greenhouse gases from the atmosphere each year.
That is quite impressive. So now we know what Total is bringing to the table. What role does Air Products actually play in this?
Yeah, Air Products is a key partner. They've committed about 15 billion of funding to low carbon and green hydrogen. And so they're really trying to their objective is to try to make that green hydrogen more available at a commercial scale. And under the new agreement, starting in 2030, Air Products is going to supply Total with about 70,000 tons of green hydrogen each year. And that's expected to reduce about 700,000 tons of greenhouse gases emissions annually. Also, they've signed on to a deal to do a 150 megawatt power purchase agreement in Texas, and they're exploring other opportunities to do similar work in the UK, Poland, and France as well.
This collaboration is indeed a significant milestone towards kind of, the green hydrogen and kind of increasing the amount of green hydrogen in the space. And it kind of showcases how strategic partnerships can actually drive large scale adoption of green technologies and accelerate the transition to a low carbon economy.
Yeah. And speaking of strategic moves, let's just shift gears a little bit and talk about solar power in the US. Hassam, could you tell us a little bit about where we're at with solar power in the US today?
Absolutely. So today, the US generates about 4% of its electricity from solar, but this renewable source is on the rise. So if you look at back in since 2016, the number of solar installation in the nation has increased fivefold.
Wow. So, how does the US plan to expand its solar capacity and try to meet future energy demand?
Yeah, so the US aims for solar to actually provide roughly 30 to 50% of America's electricity in 10 years as a milestone on the path to a completely decarbonized energy sector by 2050. So collectively, the US's 5 million solar installations can actually generate more than 179 gigawatts of electricity. Now, if you look based on current electricity trends, the Solar Energy Industry Association, short for SEIA, claims that the US total solar capacity will actually soar to roughly 673 gigawatts by 2034.
Yeah, that's incredible. So, but to meet the Biden administration's goal of 100% clean electricity by 2035, the US Department of Energy, or DOE, expects that we'll need as much as 1 terawatt of solar capacity to do that, which seems like a pretty huge leap. So I'm just curious, what are some of the key challenges and solutions that you think we'll need to achieve that ambitious goal?
Efficiency is 100% one of the major factors here, right? So improving your efficiency plays a key role. Uh, Solar power is cleaner and cheaper, but it still faces challenges regarding reliability. So we can store excess solar power during the day in batteries. However, current batteries can only hold a charge for a few days at most. Uh, on the flip side, they're very expensive and do degrade over time. But the DOE recently announced a $20 million funding opportunity for researchers to improve solar cell performance, which could lower, or it could even further lower the levelized cost of solar generated electricity. Right now, lithium ion storage batteries have been the norm. However, there has been a few advancements in the battery storage technology, including flow batteries, thermal batteries, and even AI assisted batteries. Uh, on top of that, the DOE's has a program called the Grid Storage Launchpad, which is opening this year, and it aims to kind of bring researchers together to actually advance some of these technologies to provide that reliability.
Yeah, thanks for that context. I think there's also the issue of permitting, right? So, getting approval to try to install solar power systems can be a really time consuming and complicated process for installers and developers. But, I think that one of the solutions to that is more permitting reforms across all levels of government. That's something that I think can really help address that, but also along with technologies like Solar App, which is an automated permitting platform that was recently developed by the DOE. And I'm really excited to see, what the future brings for that app, and as well as, what we can do in terms of pushing more solar onto our systems.
Indeed. One last thing I'd like to mention here is that it's also important to consider the opposition from the fossil fuel industry, which has been a significant barrier to the adoption of renewable energy technology in general. However, the share of electricity generated by fossil fuels is continuously decreasing, while solar and other clean energy sources are on the rise. Uh, Also, the levelized cost of solar power has been continually decreasing and is currently lower than certain fossil fuel generated electricity. Um, for our listeners, if anyone is interested to learn more about the cost of different types of energy, I would definitely encourage folks to check out the Lazard's most recent levelized cost of energy report. It has a ton of great insights on kind of the cost of electricity or cost of energy based on the fuel being used. If you're looking to get more information, we'll include a link to the report in the description below.
Awesome. Thanks so much, Assam. And yeah, I really appreciate you joining me here today. And with that, thanks everyone for joining us for another week in sustainability, and we'll see you all next time.
Sustain.Life is the leading and most comprehensive sustainability software on the market. To learn how we can help your company measure its emissions and take climate action, go to Sustain.Life. Don't forget to like and subscribe to this show on our YouTube channel or your favorite podcast platform. Thanks for tuning in. See you next week.